Before we begin, viewer discretion is strongly advised. The following is for educational and entertainment purposes only. This is the verbatim federal courtroom testimony of the Sean Diddy Combs trial, as reported by Inner City Press. When Chewy Thompson, the grandson of Elvis Presley, walked into the courtroom, no one expected the storm he would unleash. Young, composed, but burdened with legacy, Chewy wasn't there to perform or posture. He was there to testify, to expose a secret that had consumed his family for generations. "My name is Chewy Thompson," he began, "and I'm the grandson of Elvis Aaron Presley. I'm here because my grandfather didn't die of addiction. He died of exposure to something he was never supposed to see." What followed would shake not only the courtroom but the very foundation of the entertainment industry. According to Chewy, in the 1970s, Elvis met Melvin Combs, the father of Sean Diddy Combs. Melvin wasn't merely an industry player. He was a ghost in the machine, a broker of power, secrets, and shame who thrived in the shadows. He shared ties with Colonel Tom Parker, Elvis's notorious manager, and was deeply embedded in both the music industry and the underworld. Melvin ran what Chewy described as red door parties, private, exclusive gatherings where celebrities were lured under the guise of opulence, but subjected to sinister experiences. Elvis, pressured and manipulated, became a showpiece at these events. According to Chewy, his grandfather was not a guest, but an unwilling participant, a prisoner in plain sight. Elvis, Chewy said, confided in Priscilla Presley about what he had seen: masked figures, disturbing acts, and a suffocating atmosphere of power games and exploitation. In one recovered journal entry, Chewy read aloud, "I saw a child walk into the room and a man close the door. I couldn't move. I wanted to scream. Melvin just stood there watching, grinning." The courtroom was stunned. Diddy, seated silently, began to visibly tense. The sins of the father, once hidden, were now surfacing for the world to see. Chewy presented a leather-bound journal, one of Elvis's last, and read haunting entries that revealed a man unraveling under pressure. In one entry, Elvis wrote, "If I leave, they ruin me. If I stay, they own me." But the most damning moment came when Chewy introduced a USB drive containing footage from July 1974, recorded at a mansion known as the White House in Bel Air, California. The grainy footage showed Elvis slouched in a chair, pale and visibly disturbed. Melvin sat beside him, smiling. There were masked figures, faint moaning, and unsettling background noise. Then, a whisper of a child's voice. The court monitors went black, and Chewy looked directly at Diddy. "You knew," he said, "and instead of ending it, you brought it back." Chewy detailed how his grandfather's spirit broke after those parties. He testified about a 1976 event in Palm Springs that pushed Elvis further into despair. Elvis returned home that night and told Priscilla, "I've seen the devil in silk sheets, and he knows my name." Elvis's journal, found decades later, included chilling entries. "They offered me silence in exchange for peace. But peace isn't peace when you've seen what I've seen. They own the people who write the news." Elvis died 3 weeks later, the official cause, a heart attack induced by drug use. But Chewy told the jury, he wasn't killed with a weapon. He was killed with fear. NT in Los Angeles, eerily similar to the gatherings his grandfather once attended. The mansion was the same. The format, the whispers about the gold room, and even the masked staff mirrored the past. And there, at the center of it all, was Diddy, presiding over the party, like a king. Chewy witnessed Diddy grabbing a young man by the arm, aggressively leading him toward a hallway. Chewy intervened. "You're stepping into the same hell my grandfather did," he told Diddy. And then he punched him. Diddy dropped. There were no charges, no retaliation, only silence. But it spoke volumes. In the days that followed, Chewy was harassed. Anonymous threats, his car vandalized, and fake calls to his family. It was psychological warfare, meant to crush him. "They weren't trying to kill me," he said. "They were trying to make me kill myself, just like they did to my grandfather." Then, in a moment of devastating clarity, Chewy found a cassette tape in Graceland. It was a voicemail from Elvis. If something happens to me, don't let them rewrite it. Don't let them say it was pills or weakness. Melvin said one day his boy would take the throne, and I'd be a footnote. In his closing testimony, Chewy pulled out a sealed envelope from his bag, a document from a private investigator. It revealed internal communications between Diddy's team discussing how to contain the Chewy situation. One line read, "If this kid connects Elvis to the original freak-off blueprint, where F*** kid, he needs to be silenced, discredited, ruined." Gasps echoed through the room. Then came the ultimate bombshell, another sealed envelope found in the Graceland archives. It was a letter Elvis wrote to the FBI in 1975, listing attendees of Melvin Combs' parties. The names? Clive Davis, Quincy Jones, Russell Simmons. At the bottom, Melvin said one day his son would run the entire empire. Chewy also presented a black and white photo of a young Sean Combs, just 9 years old, standing in the very same hallway from the 1974 footage. Diddy, once the untouchable titan of hip-hop, sat shattered. Not by law, but by legacy. Chewy looked him in the eye. "You once said, 'No party is like a Diddy party.' But I've seen what happens when the music stops. My grandfather saw it too, and it killed him."